What's up, you guys? Shiz back for another quick, casual counter build for this week's upcoming Terror Raid. We finally are getting SCEPTILE, one of my favorite starters. In that last video, I did kind of put together like, okay, I could see SCEPTILE being the one that's going to be the dragon type if it's going to mimic its mega evolution. So here we are, getting SCEPTILE as a dragon type. I'll take it, but now that leaves us with a few more left to go, and we still don't have a dark type one, so I think it is pretty solidified that it will be for alligator. At least one of them will be for alligator for the dark type, but we'll get more into that towards the end of this. So first things first, as we always do, looking at the hidden ability Unburden. Speed is doubled once the held item is consumed. I don't think that's like, this is another case where the held item thing isn't gonna really matter. So I mean, sorry, the hidden ability isn't gonna really matter. So not too much to worry about in the way of that, but we may run into a few issues here and there in terms of how frequently SCEPTILE might attack, and if critical hits are gonna, be a main component of its attack style, kind of like how we had with Samurai, which was very fun. But yeah, I think definite guarantee Leaf Blade. Again, now we're talking about that critical hit aspect of it. But in terms of what I think versus what I hope the dragon type move will be, I think it would be great if, and again, my tabs give away everything I'm going to talk about, but I think it would be great if they did bring back dual chop for this. Now obviously, as we can see here, dual chop is not in the game as it is right now. So I think once they introduced Mega SCEPTILE, that was, as far as I understand, SCEPTILE's first dragon type move in the series, at least learnable by default, at level 36 in Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. So I think it would be great if they brought it back, but if they don't, I imagine it'll probably be, if not Dragon Tail, I imagine Dragon Breath, because Dragon Breath is an egg move. I don't think it would be something like Outrage, because then, it would, I don't think they would go for Confusion, like letting the SCEPTILE be confused. Then again, it could always nullify that. But yeah, I think hope is dual chop, but more than likely Dragon Breath. But yeah, I guess maybe to counter some like very psychic types like Gardevoir or Hatterene, anything like that, probably gonna get something like Night Slash as a counter. Would be interesting. I mean, SCEPTILE has so many fighting moves, but I don't know that they would include that. Obviously there's endless potential for so many other counters for things, but I do think they'll probably go with Dragon Dance as the boost, which again, now we're getting into that problem of like, okay, physical attacks are going to get really heavy if that is the case. And I think also that helps play into their hidden ability a little bit. Obviously, it's not going to be there, but speed increases would work for SCEPTILE. I really hope it doesn't do like, double attacks all the time, especially with any attack increases. So, yeah, what else was I gonna say? I think it would be really interesting if they went double team, kind of playing again into that speed aspect of it. Obviously that's evasion, not speed, but I think that would be very funny. Maybe Leaf Storm as like a last minute move, kind of like how Emboar wasn't really using Heat Crash until after Shield broke, so maybe we could see that. Like, yeah, since it's gonna lower its special attack stat, it would probably just do it the one time, maybe, and then just return to Leaf Blade or something crazy. So yeah, I mean, we also have obviously the possibility of things like Slam, things like that, but I still feel very confident about, Leaf Blade, Dragon Dance. Although again, I do hope it's dual chop. I do think probably Dragon Breath, because SCEPTILE is more of a special attacker, which is surprising to me. But yeah, so with that aspect in mind, obviously defense is weaker for Sceptile, so I think we're going to have to go for physical attackers. But off the rip, when you see a Dragon Terror type, you're immediately going to go all the way back to those Charizard builds, right? So in terms of a supporter, I 100% would go with Grimmstyle. Love Grimmstyle as a supportive build. I usually run with Light Clay as the held item, Spirit Break, Paralyze, like, oh my god, well, yeah, anything to paralyze, or any other type of, you know, status condition thing that you might want to do. And a either Light Screen or Reflect, just to help the team out, and of course that's the whole purpose of having Light Clay. But I think if we do see an instance where Sceptile kind of becomes annoying with boosting its attack and focusing on physical attacks, then of course you could swap out Spirit Break for Chilling Water to rastalize your Grimmsnarl as a fairy type, just to keep, you know, keep doing damage as Spirit Break. If you are going to switch from like being in that supportive situation and then just like, okay, we've decreased the stat enough, let's do some damage as well on our end. But I don't think you go into this with Grimmstyle as like a primary or in a solo capacity at all. I think you go with the obvious thing, which has been around for, you know, the bread and butter with Pixelate here, Sylveon. Increased power of normal moves by 20%, and it also changes those moves to fairy types. So, an incredible ability, which of course can get nullified, but not really a major problem. That's only for one turn, so you could probably do some increases to your own stats. You know, you could run a full squad of Sylvies, have everyone focus on like increasing with oh my god, Calm Mind, and then just have 3 of them baton pass to the one Sylvie that's gonna do Hyper Beam or something like that, and there you go. But yeah, I do think this will be a relatively easy raid. I'm gonna knock on wood there because I say that and then it might be, you know, the most difficult one yet. But as it stands, Sceptile doesn't really, like, have any real counters to fairy types. It doesn't even have Toxic. Like, it has no poison attack whatsoever that it could learn, that it could like Egg Move, TM, whatever. So yeah, I think if you're, because like when you're thinking Dragon types, also you're of course thinking of Ice type Pokemon, but with it having fighting moves, that would be where that counter comes in for Ice types. I'm now realizing that's what I was originally thinking. So yeah, safe bet, at least to start, if you already have a Sylvie built up from previous raids, I think you go with that. I think, you know, the Charizard raid probably got us really prepared for this Sceptile raid, so we'll see. Maybe it'll do a lot of quick damage that'll be annoying, and have Sylvie faint, so, you know, maybe you're not looking at building up, like maybe what you're gonna do to start is like just try to make sure you get to Rastalize. Maybe not building up stats and stuff like that, but we'll play it out by ear, obviously, by how Sceptile is going to be attacking. But yeah, in terms of who we're still waiting for, we have Chimchar, Litten, we still have Snivy as the and you know, Turtwig, and then the last water type is Totodile. Now, some people had some speculations that the Pokemon that we're not seeing are gonna be the ones that pop up in Legends ZA. If that were the case, I would love it if it was Totodile, Snivy, Chimchar. Based off what we're left with. I do have other preferences for ZA, but it is what it is. We'll see what actually happens. But yeah, I think just because we've already had, well, actually, yeah, you see, never mind. I don't really, yeah, because I don't want to repeat what we've already done. But if we are repeating what we've already done in terms of, like, you know, Cyndaquil, Oshawott, Rowlet, it would then be Litten, Snivy, Totodile. So, if that's the case, that's the case. It is what it is. But I would love for some of the other gens to get some representation, you know. Let's ignore Gen 1, but, you know, as much as I would love Trico, I think a lot of people were signing with possibly Torchic as a possibility. I don't think you do a Gen 6 Pokemon just because it's taking place in during Gen 6. Maybe you do a Gen 8 and a Gen 4. But yeah, if that is the case, then yeah, you just repeat it. Totodile, Snivy, Litten. In terms of who's next, though, I think it's gonna have to be a fire Pokemon, and then we repeat with the grass Pokemon. So maybe Chimchar's next. I would love for it to be Chimchar. I'm gonna stab in the dark. I'm gonna say Fly. They're gonna repeat. They're gonna repeat Fly for Chimchar. But yeah. Anyway, that's my quick thoughts, kind of breakdown of how I expect this to go. I know, you know, there's not like, I didn't give like full 6 move, 7 move breakdowns, but I'm feeling confident going into this raid. I think it would be a lot of fun again in a group setting. So if you are someone who is still doing these raids and you've been doing these raids with a group of friends or whatever it may be, you know, get the crew back together. It feels like it'll be like whatever strat you did for Charizard, it feels like it should be able to work for here. So yeah, we will be live this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I won't forget, because I actually like Sceptile. Not that I hate Emboar, it's just, you know, Trico is definitely one of my favorite starters, and I'm not gonna lie to you, got caught up playing Kingdom Hearts and completely forgot the Emboar raid was happening. Like, I ended stream and went to have dinner because I was starving, so I'm like, oh no, I gotta rush in the next morning. But anyway, I'm excited for this, and let me know what you are thinking of running for this raid. If you're gonna do anything different from the Charizard raid, if you think anything I've said sucked, let me know. But yeah, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you loved it, hit that subscribe button. You just can't get enough. Come over to twitch.tv/BrossCindy, where we should be live, especially this Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. But until then, peace.